Welcome, welcome. We are late and we apologize. I have no announcements, so fortunately we can get started relatively soon. We'd like to just quickly welcome back the team that streams Trinity Continuum Aberrant Atomic Youth. They began their season 3 this past Wednesday. Very excited to see what comes next. I do love me some Aberrants, and I do love me some Atomic Youth. That sounds awful. I regret having said it. We're going to skip right over that. We're going to go ahead and meet our Scions, shall we?
Hi, Charles here. Forgot to pet Cerberus last time I was here, but I fixed the storm. I should be here for the whole day.
Yeah, Gideon Danger, who enjoys not only oiled Greco-Roman wrestling, but reading in his off time.
Gregor DeWitt, just your average ordinary everyday person. We're in hell. Hades? Hades.
Hey, I'm the last person to speak. My name's MAJIN. Happy to be here.
As you can see, we are missing Arthalis today. He had something come up of great importance, but we will, for the time being, I will be puppeting him and hopefully providing an exit, because I do not care for making decisions for player characters. But with that being said, let's jump into today's episode of Scion Godsend. Gregor, a recap if you would.
Of course. So we, after having rowed the ferry into Hades, we arrived on the shores and proceeded to go to the apparent. Well, we went to the line, and then we split up and had a bit of a fun time, running around into the gift shop where the normal amount of shenanigans were had. Then, to put it simply, we went to the line, got into a fight. Someone decided to antagonize Hades multiple times. Good fun. At that point, Charles ceased to exist, but also was simultaneously there. Attempted to get treats, but failed to my knowledge. Then had that whole confrontation at the end, really, where ultimately our good Titan challenged the God of Death, and the God of Death was like, I respect that, and proceeded to give him everything he wanted, barring, some conditions. Yeah, nothing too crazy happened besides a dip in the river Styx, but yeah, everybody survived.
Or did they?
Indeed, against all odds, it seems as if everyone has survived. We join our heroes now. Gideon was making his way to the chamber where Persephone had taken the rest of our Scions to discuss payment and necessity and want and need and desire. This is where we join you now, gentlemen. Charles, Gregor, MAJIN, in the chamber of Persephone. Gideon, you will be joining shortly. You stated your wants. You wish to get to the archives. The question was asked of what form of payment would you make?
Response was offered. Work. I'll take on a quest for her.
What about you, Charles? Go ahead, MAJIN, if you had something.
The plushie didn't cover us?
I'm afraid not. As I said, I approved this to be sold. It's our gift shop,
I have a sticker that says I survived the river Styx.
Once again, Charon required funding to make these. Who do you think provided him with those?
Do you have a quest? Surely there's something you need. Perhaps organizing the archives themselves. Then it's 2 birds, 1 stone.
I think you'll find
If I could do... sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, if I could do literally anything but organize an archive room, that would be fantastic.
See, it even
Perhaps
cost him a lot.
a challenge of some sorts. Maybe a hide and seek challenge with Cerberus.
Yeah, or like landscaping.
Land-
We could change the flow of the river Styx, add a waterfall, like a little like jacuzzi area.
Well,
There's got to be a ghost down here that really annoys you. We could punch a ghost.
The challenge does seem interesting. That's just a thing. I will allow you to look through my archives for as long as it takes Cerberus to find one of you. One of you, of course, will be without the archives, but there's always a fun bit of chase to Cerberus's games. Are we agreed?
What would the rules be?
Mm,
Is that it?
You
Like, those are
may
the rules?
you may hide. You may use whatever abilities you wish. If two of you wish to partake, make it a little bit more interesting. Buy your researchers a bit more time, then by all means. But all of you must be found. Whoever is participating. So really, it's a matter of, do you want a quantity of people looking through our archives, or do you want a significant amount of time?
if you buy me time, I can do it pretty quickly.
You can see Thalos speaks up and says, I think we should accept. I volunteer to be hunted.
What do you mean by Cerberus catching us?
Finding you.
Okay.
Nothing more. You won't be injured.
Is that
Okay.
the implication was hiding or running? Finding would just be against hiding, yeah?
Like, does he have to touch us?
Is this tag or hide and seek?
You may feel free to run if you'd like. Cerberus may enjoy the sport.
Okay.
But if you already found them, does that already count as
We'll say
Well-
having lost?
we'll say a touch. If you wish to run, then by all means.
Alternatively, I was thinking that whoever ran could use that to stall. Since they're still in the game to be able to distract Cerberus, that would be a viable strategy. I accept. How little time would we have if we all participate?
Until Cerberus finds you, so one researcher will be necessary.
Yeah. Is it if Cerberus finds any of us?
All that participate.
Yeah, let's all participate then. Playing tag with Cerberus sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh,
agree.
research.
Gideon, you want to play?
He isn't here.
Gideon, you enter
Oh.
through the door. I have to hear Charles's question.
Two things. One, Ramos, you're probably going to need to project a bit more because you're dropping off at the tail end
Much
there.
appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. Now, what was the question? Do I want to what?
Do you want to play? We're going to play hide and seek with Cerberus. Or look through the archives.
Lord Hades has provided us unfettered access to his archives for a time, and with his blessing, we should waste no time in doing so. Whatever dalliance you have with Cerberus is not my concern.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
so we could look?
I don't like repeating myself.
I'm just confirming.
I still want
like-
to play with
You
Cerberus.
don't have to repeat yourself. You could literally just say yes.
Did my lord husband grant you access or your group access?
I would have to dial back my brain. I feel like he said when he said you, I don't know if he meant like y'all or you.
Let's
Well-
let's play it safe then, shall we? Gideon, you may have access.
Um,
so Gideon can look all he wants while we play the game.
Yeah, I just want to say something. No disrespect, Miss Persephone. No disrespect, but I was just saying I just wanted to bring up because earlier you were like, we're basically a unit, he's an asshole, that makes us an asshole. You kind of lumped us together, but now we're not lumped together anymore. That's
Well,
kind of
It does seem that my husband has seen fit to divide you all.
He did divide us.
it. I thought.
We were taken care of by her. Her ruling matters more at this point. Or
Just for us.
and
Like Gideon can still just
yeah,
walk
Gideon
away
can look all he
whenever wants.
wants.
You don't
Alright,
wish
Gideon.
if you don't wish to participate in my game,
I want to play.
you don't have to.
Oh, of course I want to play. I'm the one that thought of the game. I want to be a part. I'm sorry. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Would you like something more personal?
Yeah, that always makes it more authentic, I guess.
Oh no.
What if I ask you a riddle, and if you can't answer it, then I can go and look through the archives.
Charles, why are you changing the game now?
Charles, it would feel very remiss if I didn't inform you that we have scholars, philosophers, riddle makers, and all manner
That's
of
okay.
clever people down here.
I'm here to tell you that I'm here to win.
Ooh, can I do a archery or like a shooting contest or something?
Why do you?
She offered to make it more personal. I like shooting.
Personalized games for everyone, then.
Oh, why did you do this?
Because it's fun.
Mr. DeWitt, do you not wish for a personal game?
I
Are
was
you
fine with the previous arrangement.
Alice speaks up and says, as was I. Then the two of you may participate. One of you must be hunted, one of you can research.
That does stack up with what each of you volunteered.
Yes, but now I'm going to have less time to
No, you
research.
won't. He can make all the thaluses he wants. What are you talking about?
Persephone raises an eyebrow.
You said we could use
Now-
powers. So, we all good? We ready to play?
I have just a thing in mind. Charles, your riddle. Majin. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Achilles.
Well, I heard of him. He was a badass, right?
You wish for a contest of champions. I think that he will be a worthy opponent for you.
I'm down.
Mr. DeWitt, Thalys. You, of course, may begin whenever you like. Thalys, feel free to hide. Thalys
Excellent then.
stands, kind of gives you a wink, Gregor, and then rushes out of the door.
As he goes to rush past me, I'm going to grab him by the arm and whisper something into his ear.
What do you whisper, Gideon? What is it that you whisper?
I give him a brief range of instructions that will lead him to Elysium and the places where Cerberus isn't necessarily allowed to go.
Understood. Go
But
ahead.
also tell him to beware of the Minotaur.
Understood. Go ahead and give me any skill that you think you would need to keep this quiet and very quick, quiet, and succinct.
How about some composure and subterfuge?
Composure and subterfuge works well for me. By all means.
Wham. One success.
One success. Quickly, quietly, succinctly, you give direction. Thalos kind of like is taking it down in his head. This left stone corridor, Elysium will be shining light. Right? Is it a left or? I'll find it.
Go.
Yep, got it. Thalos takes off.
If you'll excuse me.
By all means. Take Mr. DeWitt with you. I'm certain he's eager.
Yep.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Two of you abscond from this place.
Mhm.
Following Hades' instructions, you make your way to the archives, the vast halls where the records of the dead and other things are kept.
And other things.
Charles, Majin, you are left alone with Persephone. Smiles over the two of you. Majin, did you wish to be present for Charles's challenge? Or did you wish to begin
Yeah,
yours
sure.
right away?
Oh, I'll watch Charles. You know, that's cool.
Charles, it's...
Hi.
Again, I wish to inform you that we have a number of scholars and philosophers here. I find myself talking with them frequently. I do miss the world above, so every new inhabitant of Hades, I find myself at least chatting with for a time. Are you sure this is the challenge you choose?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always ready and willing to impart my wisdom on others.
Then by all means. Your riddle.
All right, Persephone. What goes up a mountain with one leg and descends with 28?
She looks puzzled. And there's a smirk. She looks a bit amused. Up with 1, descending with 28. Quite specific numbers. Where did you hear this riddle?
I heard it from my mom.
The same mother you wish to save.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be trying to trick the queen of the underworld, would you? A riddle
I wouldn't
must.
say trick.
A riddle must have a proper answer. This does have a proper answer, doesn't it, Charles?
There's a good chance.
Majin, I want to get your thoughts on this before we continue with this scene. What's going through Majin's head right now as he's heard the riddle, heard Charles's reply to some of Persephone's questions? What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, not to be a rules lawyer or nothing, but nothing was clarified prior to, you know, accepting the, so I mean, you know, she just didn't know who she was fucking with when it came to random shit. So, I'm just saying.
Indeed, it does seem Persephone has mistaken Charles for a rational individual. You see her smile. Her brow furrows a bit. Her smile never really fades. It just shrinks just a bit by bit. You see she reading people, Majin. Charles, maybe you pick up on this as well. She's racking her brain. She's remembering countless bits of knowledge and conversations. She settles further into her chair. Just kind of furrows her brow, places her head in her hand, and begins to think. Harder and harder. Silence.
Let me know. Let me know when you give up. You're never gonna get this. I'll tell you if you want. But if I tell you, I mean, you give up.
Does this persist, Charles? We're gonna fade to Gregor and Gideon.
Yeah, that'll persist.
So
Charles
the
is
light
gonna get
taunting of
bored
a
and stop.
goddess of the underworld?
Absolutely.
Understood. Gideon, Gregor, you have made your way to the archives, at least to the point where Thalys is properly hidden. Thalys you saw running and then leaving trails of himself behind himself, and scattering in all directions. At least that way, at least you can see, Gregor, you'll be granted a decent amount of time. But the two of you have reached the archives. Large halls filled with all manner of books and scrolls. There are bits of parchment sort of just laid flat on shelves as well. It's all an intricate labeling system etched into the wood. It is in Greek, but that shouldn't be an issue, I believe, for Gideon at the very least. Gregor, you may have to recall some things. You are a scholar of sorts. But here you find the halls of Hades archives. It is vast, it is large, there are many rows. And you could hear a pin drop with how silent it is. Scene is yours, gentlemen.
I immediately get to work. You know how the doctor reads?
To a point, yes.
Yeah, he just takes a book, does that, and he knows what's in it.
Your research speed is halved, so not
Yes.
quite that quick.
Yes, but it does say I can read an entire textbook in a minute.
There we go. Minutes is all you need.
Yeah, so, well, if it's a good labeling system, finding her shouldn't be too hard, and the actual book should take about a minute to read.
I will keep this in mind. Gideon, what are you up to?
So I have a pretty specific list of things. As 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 Gregor flickers in and out of reality.
Stop reacting to it or it'll get worse.
See
what you did?
I did. I can't not.
How can you not? It's easy to not react to things. I don't see why it's so hard.
Continue.
Because you're right here.
Continue, please.
Anyway, I'm looking specifically for one, geographical information regarding the Ionian Sea and some hints as to whether or not there are mentions of or maps of any islands they're in that may have been staked out by the Olympians or historically by, well, no, it would be the Olympians because the Titans don't know where it is. So yeah, I'll be looking for notes on that. In addition, I'll be looking for, I'm sure that there are probably notes, histories, or dossiers on the Pillars of Heaven, Cronus' siblings, considering they're basically uncles to the the Lord himself here.
Hmm.
So I'll be looking for information on them, either like where they are, what they're doing, last known whereabouts, likes, dislikes, pet peeves, allergies, as they are very crafty. And thirdly, I'll be looking for requirements on how to provide a proper offering to gain audience with the Allmother.
Understood. So, starting with the two of you. So, Gregor, I need. I have Gideon's goals. You are strictly searching for Charles's mother.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Understood. I'll need a roll from both of you. Gideon, you have 3 target bits of knowledge. So, make the roll and then define, of course, which bit of knowledge you're after first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
The roll is going to be. You have a little bit of time here. You can have a choice of cunning or an intellect, and then whatever skill you think you would like to use for research.
So I will start with the island, and I will use academics.
Understood. Go ahead and make your roll, Gregor.
Does a cult make sense, given that I'm looking for a dead person?
I would ask you to expand. I'm not saying no. I'm
The
saying it is a bit
transfer
of a
of
stretch.
souls. The transfer of souls from one realm to another is definitely something more occult in nature, I would argue, rather than purely academical or even technological. So that's the only other one I can technology is the only other one I can really think of besides those.
I could see it. The reason being, just to justify it for anyone who may doubt, it's not just a transfer of souls. She doesn't belong in this underworld. There is a record of her here somewhere. Occult being, I could see occult or culture being used for the same reasoning. Just because it's transferring of various different underworlds, the soul will have to belong to a certain place. What belief system and pantheon, what magics are used to define and weigh it. By all means.
All right, intellect occult then.
This is a new scene, right?
This is technically a new scene. Yes, you will have a gaining of momentum. Brings your guys' pool up to, I believe, I want to say 7 or 8.
It should be 8. Okay. Can I spend some momentum on this roll? Y'all mind?
Sure.
Anyone? Bueller?
Charles.
Chuck?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'd like it if you could spend 5.
I think I'd only need to spend 4, right?
Is
If
it?
you
I
want.
thought the max was 10.
Max.
It is.
Your max pool is 10. So you would need to spend 5 for the scene if you guys are hunting for that XP boost. But
Oh,
the scene is going to persist. So
Okay.
Yeah.
there, and with several rolls being made, momentum expenditure is.
Then sounds good to me.
Okay. Cool.
How much would you like to spend, Gideon?
5. I have to add more dice, so give me a second. So I got 2 successes so far.
Understood.
And then it looks like 2 more because there's a 10 there, right?
Roll again. 10's roll again.
Yes, 10's roll again.
Oh, okay.
It still counts as success, but 10's.
So there's another 10.
Keep
Roll
going.
again. Okay.
So 2, 3, 4. 4? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. 4.
4 successes.
Mhm.
Excellent.
This is specifically for a lead regarding the island in the Ionian Sea.
Understood. we'll get to that very shortly. Gregor, how many successes?
5.
5 successes. Poring over tomes and tomes, you with a quickness are beginning to ascertain at least a limit of where she began and where she may end up. Finding the origin path essentially is the first role and first requirement of this. So you figured out when she died. You figure out, judging off of Charles's age and whatnot. I'm not sure if you guys have discussed it. So take some narrative control. Charles, Gregor, would you guys have discussed that? Would you guys have talked about your mother?
Um,
I imagine
Oh,
before we were all Scions.
yeah, like growing up in the orphanage together, I imagine like everyone asked
Yeah.
each other, like, what happened to
Yeah.
yours? What happened to mine?
Yeah. I was left as a baby in the basket. Yours, unfortunately, perished, and you didn't have family to pick you up. Like, would have known. We would have had that history, even if that history is fabricated.
Understood. Gregor, you can determine when she passed, and in origin from then. You have a year basically that you're going through, sitting through a month. You find very quickly that it is sorted not only by year, month, day, things like that, but categorized as well as causes of death. It's broad categories. Suicide is just a category, as well as homicide. Doesn't matter if it's been homicide via vehicle, homicide via gunpoint, knife, things like that. Broad categories. But you find the correct category to search down through, and you are on your path. Gideon. Regarding the
Yes.
islands, the Ionian Islands are, not to say many, but there are quite a few. There are a number of islands that have been of interest in the Ionian Sea. Ithaca, off the top of my head, being one of them. Frequented by Scions, by Scion specifically as a sort of pilgrimage that you can find. Same reason that gentleman had found you in the tunnels in the underworld, sort of on his path to apotheosis, on his journey, on his quest to godhood. A lot of people go to Ithaca, as well as Paxos, just for a sort of vacation area. You find more interest in, you find absence, as it were. You were looking for something with 5 successes. You were looking for an island that was frequented by Scions and gods and the Theoi. All of them, save for one. Well, 2, I should say. There is mention of 2 names here. The island of Cythera is of interest, and it is not very frequently visited by any Scions of the Theoi. And then the other one, it could be a second name, another name for the same island, but it is also very, very infrequently visited. You find that it's only been visited by 2 individuals. One is unnamed, and the other is Hermes. Corcia, Corcyra.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm assuming that they wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put I'm looking for at a tourist destination or on some sort of chart that, any glory hounding Scions might accidentally happen upon something like that. So, Corcyra is probably top of my list, followed by Cythera, just because there's something about that name that makes me think like, really, did you really name it after the damn thing? Are you that person? Out of curiosity, is there a record of like who discovered or named them?
Yes, it would require. Well, that won't require another roll.
I mean,
You
if it does, I don't really care. But I was just kind of curious as to whether that was part of the record.
no. It is part of the record. It's part of the history of the islands. There is argument to be made that it was always as it was. I'm going to require a roll not to figure out the names of the individuals or anything like that, but just the nature of, as weird as it sounds, existence, as the beginnings of fate, the beginnings of time, the beginnings of the gods themselves. So,
Does it seem like this? So this is. Would you consider this a more surreptitious fact? Like this is something that's kind of like nested. It's not really obvious.
yes, even the statement that it is a fact is kind of debatable here.
Okay, then I would like to use subterfuge instead of academics for this, if that's okay.
By all means.
2 successes.
2 successes. You have the names of the individuals who discovered the islands. You have the many truths of the gods that named the islands and gave it a place and reason. You find that the 2 that you found of interest, Cythera and I've already forgotten the name. Coursera is unique in the sense that they were not discovered or named. They sprung into existence.
They were created, essentially.
One could argue.
Well, then I'm really glad that I'm on point 3 at some point here, because I feel like if anybody brought these things into existence, I would know exactly who might be responsible for such a thing. Considering the timing, anyway.
Gregor, the same roll just to keep going with your investigation. Gideon, if you wish to continue down this path of the Ionian Island information, I would imagine the same roll. If you want to switch up skill, by all means.
Oh no, I think I have what I want here. Because I have like there's maps and stuff, right? So I know where these things are.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next point then, which is the dossiers on the Pillars of Heaven. I need to know as much as I can about these chaps.
Understood. Same attribute, whatever skill you would like. Both of you hold on to your successes. We're gonna fade from here back over to Charles and Majin. 20 minutes pass in silence, Charles. Well, her silence.
So you give up?
Not quite yet, Mr. Skulson.
Okay.
Really should have settled on a time limit.
Yeah.
She could just wait you out.
Do you think she's just waiting until a scholar walks by?
I guess you didn't clarify that she couldn't get help, I guess. I don't know.
She can ask whoever she wants, I suppose. Nothing really stopping her.
You both can feel free at this point to make a roll, a sort of insight check if you'd like, to see what's going through her mind, to see if you can ascertain what is going on. Using your cunning and whatever skill you would like to use. This is a voluntary roll. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'd like to use empathy.
Understood.
Culture?
Make an argument for culture.
No, I'm okay. Survival?
Make an argument for survival.
Persuasion?
You just throwing them out and seeing what sticks? I'm open to suggestions if you want to, if you wish to justify.
Roll pilot.
Pilot.
What would
any
you
of
like,
these.
what would you like to roll, Majin?
Well, if you're letting me, close combat.
Feel free to justify your choice.
All right, I'll just roll cunning.
Cunning in what, Majin?
Whatever you allow me.
I can see an argument for subterfuge. I can see an argument for integrity, empathy. I can see an argument for leadership. I could see a stretched argument for occult.
Yeah, everything you said, I have no dots in, so I'll just roll cunning.
Okay. Momentum. You guys are at 3 now. If you would like to expend momentum.
I got Phil with a 1.
That means we get momentum.
Let's see.
That means we get 2, right? It's technically a bot, right?
Is it you rolled a 1?
I rolled A1 and I rolled no successes with the 1.
Understood. So we have 2 more momentum added to the pool. We have 5 momentum. Charles, what are the results of your roll?
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Unfortunately, Persephone is a little bit difficult to read. So also, were there any 1s in that roll? Okay, so we are back up to 6 momentum here, gentlemen. Another 10 minutes pass. Feel free to continue conversation if you'd like.
Maybe I should just do my challenge. That's.
I mean, yeah, probably. But let this be a lesson. Add some extra rules to yours.
I guess, yeah. Oh, is that something I have to talk to Achilles about, or you, Miss
I will shepherd you
Queen?
to Achilles after I have completed this task.
Oh, so I have to wait now. Okay.
You've made your choice, much
Okay.
Hey,
as Charles has.
He took a bath in the river Styx too. Honestly,
Sure.
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
After 10 more minutes, 40 total minutes have passed as her pondering of this question. A large smile creeps across her face.
Did you figure it out?
No, I relent.
The answer is the blessing of mankind. It's essentially asking for specific contents of the Bible. You go up the mountain searching for what book. You come down the mountain with the verse. Verse 28 in the first book of the Bible is the blessing that God gave to mankind. Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, rule over all creatures.
A bit of a stretch, don't you think?
If you say so.
What defines the one? One
book.
leg.
Yeah, you go up the mountain in search of the book of the Bible.
In search of, but you don't have the one leg then.
You have the Bible, and you're going up with the one, like the book 1, in search of the verse.
Which verse?
28, verse 28. That's where you come back down with the verse.
And these are the 28 legs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I've never read this book. I don't have a
You should
frame
check
of
it out.
reference.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, I went to church a lot as a kid, and my mom was big into like Sunday school and all that, and she decided to use that to like test my like knowledge of the verses and things.
Charles, you may make a roll same role to kind of read what's going through her head, read what's on her face. Again, it's a voluntary role. You don't need to if you don't want to.
Fantastic. I would like to invoke a path.
Which path is that?
Scion Hero Organization with empathy. And I feel like working with or knowing Scion people associated with Scion Hero organizations, that would give Charles the ability, heightened sense to like read people when necessary.
Absolutely agree, especially in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll grant enhancement 3. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okie dokie. I got 4 successes.
4 successes. No margin. Just meeting the threshold of where you need to be at. Much like the Scions and the hero organization that you were affiliated with, that you kind of hung around when you were before you were a Scion, she's fucking irritated. When you bring shit like this up, when you brought shit like this up to the Scion hero organization, Christianity is an obscure religion, never really caught on in a wider aspect. So you likely have told this ritual before, or told this riddle before, and alluded to things like this before and used it in games. Just like them, she's irritated. She's irritated that it's so obscure, and that she's irritated that she doesn't quite understand it. That's because it's, why would a Christian pass through these halls? And it's just a lot of irritation and frustration.
I would like to invoke a twist of fate.
You may not. There is no margin of success.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it.
Awesome. Sorry, buddy. She's irritated and frustrated. This is an obscure religion, and such a small facet of religious aspect in the world. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it one bit.
I would like to ask Chim Chim if he has his bag of like miscellaneous goods.
Kind of nods.
Fantastic. Did you by chance store my Bible in there? I'll just give it to Persephone. Maybe if she sees it, she'll like cool off.
What does it look like?
It's like small and blue, like the little ones they give you in the military.
Dude, I don't know what that means. You're saying
a small
I
blue
swear
book.
to God, you're just saying things. He starts to fish around.
Give me the bag. I'll check.
You check the bag. Eventually, you find very easily you find your Bible. It's that small blue book.
Little pocket Bible. Here, you can use this.
Is this where you derive this knowledge?
Mm-hmm.
Very well, Charles. You may journey to the archives if you so wish.
Thank you. I was also hoping with that riddle, it would show you how much it means for me to just talk to my mom. Have a good day.
You depart.
And I'll scamper off, tracking the scent of Gregor and all the doppelgangers.
On your way, you pass Thalos several times. Once hidden behind a pillar, another sort of crawled up to the top of a curtain. All of them kind of look at you and just kind of peek.
I'll stop
back
with the
behind.
first one and like start loudly talking to it.
What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? You can hear bounding of padded feet, large hounds rushing toward down the hall. She's like, fuck, fuck, fuck.
I'm gonna
Jumps.
pick him up and be like, we're about to play with Cerberus. Just tuck him under my arm and run.
I need an athletics roll from you, or whatever your choice. I can see close combat athletics, but this is going to be either dexterity or might as well. You're grappling
use
someone who
close
doesn't want to
combat.
be used as a chew toy.
I'll use combat, and then I'd like to use my specialty that I have in athletics of wild running. And
By all means.
then I would like to use might.
If you're using, actually, yes, that's how specialties work in Scion.
Yeah, buddy.
Excellent. By all means, make your roll.
It's too bad Cerberus isn't a cat.
You were just in the Egyptians' version of the underworld. I don't know why. Could have played with cats all day down there.
Well, I have specialty in big cats.
Hmm.
I got 7 successes.
7 successes. You grapple and basically steal a thallus. Where are you running to, Charles? Are you running toward the archives? Or are you just...
Absolutely. Running towards the archives, hollering at Thalos if he tries to resist, you know, like laughing gleefully. the
Why
entire
are
way.
you like this? Please let me down. I'm doing so much for you right now. I don't know how many are left.
What are you talking about? I'm not even part of your game. This is only buying you more time.
If he catches you, it's over. You can see as he's running, Cerberus, much like a dog on a polished wooden floor, begins to just like come around the corner, slides a little bit, bumps into the wall, and starts bounding towards you.
There's the sweet boy. I'm going to throw Thalos at Cerberus, and then I'm going to like try and dive at its head. Like jump on its head.
Most notably, Cerberus in this moment does not look like a sweet boy. Cerberus looks like a dog on a mission, a military working dog, a hunting dog, all sorts of those things. He is fixed on a target. He is bounding towards you, Charles. You throw Thalos up.
Yeah, I throw Thalos up to Cerberus. And then, you know what? I'll just use sidestepping to get on Cerberus's back and start petting at his ears.
You can see Thalos kind of chucked into the air. He says, "Why are you like this?" Before Cerberus kind of chomps. It doesn't look like he's necessarily killed him. He's just caught him in his one of the mouth's jaws.
I really hope that's a doppelganger.
You see Cerberus. The two heads kind of crane back and look up at you as you step sideways and now rest on the back of his neck. You can see a little bit. You can feel wind rushing behind you. You turn back a little bit, and Cerberus is wagging his tail.
Oh, who's a good boy? I'll start scratching at the ears.
All 6 of them?
Yes.
Understood.
Like 2 at a time.
Chim Chim's kind of like, "Why are we doing this?" Just signing at you.
Pet some ears!
I don't want to touch him! We'll get back to you very shortly, Charles. Majin, you are left alone with Persephone.
Don't take your anger out on me, please. I'd appreciate it.
Dear Majin, why would you think I'm angry?
Because I don't even know what the fuck what he gave you. I don't. Yeah.
Obscure religions and cults are not often passed through here. At least not their true worshippers. There are those that dabble, of course, but she kind of opens the first page of the small book that was given to her. I'm interested to see what other riddles I may discern from this. Why is some of the text red? Do you know?
I don't even know what that is. Well,
She begins to walk with you, explaining that she's taking you to Achilles.
so, I don't really, can we change like the challenge a little bit?
What did you have in mind?
Well, I mean, I don't personally need to go to the archives. I think everybody is probably like in the archives.
Save for that one. She points up as you guys pass the thrones. You can see Thalos kind of trying to be as flat as possible against the throne.
Well, yeah. So, maybe like if I win, I could get a boon or something. Or, Maybe a selfie with Achilles.
That would be something you have to take up with him. What boon did
Oh,
you have
okay.
in mind?
Oh, I don't know. It's just random, you know.
A favor to be repaid at a later date?
I guess it doesn't have to be serious. I could say, if Achilles want to put his spear up on the line, that would be cool too. You know.
Again, that's something you may need to take up with him.
Oh, okay. Maybe like if I could add you on Nimster, you know, like if you could follow me, that would be cool.
I could do this. I don't frequently find myself on Instagram, but whenever I'm allowed back up to the surface, I do find myself with an abundance of pictures.
I
I'm
will. Yeah.
I could do this. It's a small payment for a boon. Anything else you wish? Voice now, by all means.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just, I'm not trying to be, this is awkward, Um,
A social media following is a trifle. I would expect something more, but if that's all you wish from me, then
well, I mean, I'm a simple person, so unless you have something in mind, that would be cool. But I'm a simple person. Just, I promise to follow you back.
is that to say you haven't followed me already?
Maybe.
What about a secret?
You want me to tell you a secret, or you tell me a secret?
Let's make it a friendly wager. You don't wish to go to my archives. And as I said, a social media following, I'm sure, may grant you some success with certain circles. Perhaps finding yourself with a abundance of men or women to choose from to take as a partner. But a secret, Majin. Let's wager a secret. You tell me something. If you lose, you tell me something that I don't already know. Something of the world, something of the surface, something that's occurred within the year that I have not witnessed. Just a glimpse into what I'm to expect when I return. If you win,
Okay.
then I will grant you a secret, something you don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's cool. How long has it been? You say within the year?
Yes, I'm allowed to return by mortal count every spring.
Oh, damn, that sucks. You don't have control, like you can't just go whenever you. Why every spring?
Was the folly of myself that I ate of the fruit of the underworld. So I was only able to return. My mother is the cause for spring. You don't return every spring. Spring returns because of me.
Well, thank you.
Thank Demeter. You two walk, making your way to Achilles' chambers. We rejoin Gideon and Gregor. Those numbers you rolled, I apologize. It may be. Hope that you haven't forgotten them by now.
6.
5.
6 and 5. 6, Gregor, you continue on this path. She was never meant to be in this underworld, nor was she meant to be in the underworld of the Shen, or for the Theoi, or for the Teotl. Nothing. She followed, as you likely know. Charles is a small, unknown sort of small cult.
Yeah, the one about the guy who got nailed to a tree, right?
The other one. Same story, different tree. So, you trace back. It's very obscure here to find names that are actually in the underworld. Seems that cult keeps things rather close to the chest, almost like the Dionysian mysteries, but more aggressive, more zealous, almost. But you find her name elsewhere. You find her name alongside Charles's father, and a record of what looks like a process, not of apotheosis, but essentially where Sun Wukong would have taken her as not a god, but sort of a guardian. She would have become a spirit of sorts, a guide almost. That is, if the bureaucracy of heaven and the Shen would have allowed it, would have gone through the proper paperwork and such like that. Paperwork was started, but it looks like this is about the time when she was stolen. She waited in her underworld, or her afterlife, and again, the paperwork, especially alongside this small cult of keeping their followers and their worshippers very close, the paperwork was extended several years, but this is when she was stolen, during this process. A final roll from you, Gregor. The same roll. Hold on to the number. Gideon, you said 5 successes, correct?
Yep.
And this was about the brothers, the siblings.
Pillars of Heaven. Yep.
Pillars of Heaven. There is a list in these archives that lists those that remain in Tartarus. You
I'm
find
not interested.
a vast history of the beginnings, these titans that are sibling to Cronus. You, of course, find that one of them did not partake in the overthrowing of Cronus' father. These are not the ones that concern you, though. You find the record of their escape. The ones that usurped their father, somehow found a crack in Tartarus, and absconded. You find information that you wish. Their demeanors, their purviews, as it were. The search is still ongoing, but there is a tie back to the Ionian Islands, where security has been tightened. Not in a sense of Scion Overwatch, or even godly Overwatch. There's been magics put in place, it seems, over the Ionian Islands. As a whole, it seems like that place is now has a tripwire attached to it. Basically, you enter there, and the gods will immediately catch a whiff of you. The Pillars of Heaven are rumored to be scattered across the four corners. As I said, the search is still ongoing. They are likely, what one scholar writes is that they are likely returned to their homeland, returned to Mother Greece, and garnering support, beginning their cults. Another theory leads to them returning to the returning to the purview or the job. The Pillars of Heaven also began as a sort of anthropomorphic role. So much as Gaia is the earth, you have sky and wind and sun. There's a theory that maybe they are returning back to their role, just to wait things out and wait for the second Titanium Lucky.
All sounds lovely.
Indeed. You again may feel free to continue down this path, or you may feel free to continue into the third question you had.
Yeah, as I'm not terribly certain how much time we have, I will move on to my third, as it is no less important than the first.
Understood. And a similar role, if you would like.
Okay. Three successes.
3 successes. And this is in regards to call on Mother Gaia.
Well, specifically, what kind of offering to provide so as to do so. I'm not trying to summon her as much as I am trying to ingratiate myself, if need be.
3 successes.
So create I guess, an offering that would draw her attention.
Understood. 3 successes from you, Gregor.
4 successes.
4 successes. So, beginning with Gregor, you, well, firstly, Charles joins you. Eventually, Charles, you have to, if you're heading toward the archives, Cerberus is not heading toward the archives, you will need to sort of hop off and bid farewell to your new friend.
All right, Chim Chim, let's go. Cerberus, can you drop Thalos for me? Come on, who's a good boy?
You can
Drop the toy.
You can see, he kind of spits him out, and Thalos is just like disappears.
I hope he doesn't hold that against me. All right, be a good boy. I'll see you later. And I'll
Cerberus
with
gives
Chim
you
Chim.
3
Hubba.
large tongues just lick your left side, your right side, and your center.
Aw, I'll miss you too.
He bounds off. You may rejoin your friends in the archives.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Reading.
I bet Persephone's reading right now too.
Gregor, the result of your role as Charles joins you. This is where you find where she is currently at, and where the process of reapprehending her and sort of grabbing her up. Confirmation that she's with Fujin. There is of course a home for Raijin. There's a home for Fujin as well, but this is not where he spends a lot of his time. They spend a lot of their time in the land of their worshippers, the land of their home. It seems like Raijin and Fujin have created a sort of protection racket that supersedes the underworld and the I say underworld, criminal underworld. I mean, it is here where she is likely kept. There is a hideout that it details. There is no plan for the Shen to storm that location, as she was not theirs yet. She was not their guide. She was not their spirit. The cult that she followed has been informed there seems to be no operation and no rescue mission planned on that front. But you have a location. With the war that is kicking off, or the sort of Cold War between dragons and gods. Obviously, Titans are included in that. It's just a matter of whose side they'll take, as far as the Shen are concerned. But with that war on the precipice, and that Cold War just waiting for a spark, they aren't willing to risk them being the spark.
Okay. And Charles just walked in and found your mom. Nobody's gonna save her.
Cool. Then we'll save her. All right, where's she at?
Seems like your pantheon specifically doesn't want any members of them to save her.
That doesn't sound like a me problem.
Didn't think it was. Just know that there might be consequences. Also, the Christians aren't doing anything either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because all of their followers are powerless humans.
Odd.
Most of their followers? I guess I have powers now.
Yeah. Well, they aren't going to do anything either, apparently.
Yeah. Why though?
Because they're powerless humans, presumably, like you said.
Like, why is no one going to help her?
Oh, the war.
What? How's that relevant? They stole my mom.
Because they don't want to alienate the Titans.
These guys already started that by kidnapping
She
my mom.
wasn't a member of the Shin, nor the Christians, nor do the Christians matter in the grand scheme.
All right.
And she's Christian, so she doesn't matter.
Cool. Anyways, where's she at?
Looks like criminal underground hideout.
Insert address here.
Yeah, insert address here.
Nito Petito.
What
Gideon, did you
continent
find
is
what
that
you were
on? At
looking
least I assume they're in Japan. Yeah.
Yes, the land of their home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in Japan, material world, convenient.
Cool.
Gideon, you had 3 successes, correct?
I did.
So, to say that no one worships Gaia anymore, it would be a lie. Across pantheons, Mother Earth is commonly referred to. Even humans that don't have a pantheon, atheists, as it were, some of them still respect the Earth enough to fight for its rights and fight for its nurturing. All manner of posturing, as it were, and the philosophers and the environmentalists will stand up on their soapboxes and preach about global warming and eliminating species and endangerment and such like that. None of them sacrifice as they used to. You find, with 3 successes, an old way, something that she would likely appreciate. It calls on the first sacrifice that she required, and then the nationwide sacrifice that was once given to her back in her prime. Sacrifice of a black sheep.
A metaphor, right?
Likely.
Love it.
This is what you find in your studies up to this point. You, of course, may feel free to continue to research if you have things to research, as it doesn't seem like you've been called away quite yet. But Charles has returned.
Did you find what you were looking for, Gideon?
There's always more questions, but yes, I have found enough.
You want to come with me and blow up Japan until Raijin and Fujin give me my mom back?
Charles, we're not going to blow up Japan.
Well, that depends on what happens.
Charles, we're not blowing up Japan.
I still feel like that depends on what happens.
I wink,
Charles,
I wink at Charles. And I go back.
Charles, we are not blowing
Hold
up
back.
Japan. God damn it, Charles.
Chim Chim looks at you, Charles, and just kind of signs to you as Gideon winks and says, "I think he's a bad influence."
I don't know what you mean.
Or you're a bad influence. I don't know. The two of you together scares the shit out of me. I hate this.
This is fantastic.
I'm gonna
Especially
let
if Marl's or Martian's done fighting Achilles.
my war epicenter just kind of seep into Charles. We're just gonna let that roll on out there.
Take some narrative control. What is the visual? What is the vibe? What is the feeling?
Well, the sensation, from my understanding, conflict is kind of at my core. It swirls. So even if his true intent is not necessarily to obliterate Japan, the thoughts of swift, bloody action and awful consequences for this conflict, it just kind of creates an atmosphere of tension. To a degree, basically equivalent to my legend. So
Excellent.
get plus two angry. Like
Fantastic. Then you would hear Charles say something along the lines of, they squandered their chance at peace when they fucked with me. Like, I'm gonna lay their fucking jaw sideways.
Comes out a little bit louder than you would have hoped. Gregor, you can hear it kind of not echo throughout the hall, but it does reverberate just a bit. It's a moment of likely rage, as you haven't seen Charles exude.
Well, I guess Japan's gone. It's not like it matters.
I just wanted to talk to my mom. But no.
Oh, he's monologuing now. Great. Yeah. I'm gonna just commit random books to memory.
I have a thought. I was just looking over a bunch of Titan manuals, right? Did I glance over anything about Fujin?
You dug specifically into the Theoi. You may do so now if you would like. Also, along your, I should say as well, along your, with the multitude of successes you've rolled, one Titan that is free and out and just accepted that may help you on your, specifically the Ionian Islands and perhaps the Pillars of Heaven, is Helios.
Really? I didn't know he was free. Well, I will make a note of that because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So in the multitude of successes, sort of that's a failure on my part. So I'll give this to you. Your Helios is out and free. He's sort of half retired as Apollo has taken up a lot of his purviews. So
he has no followers then.
Not particularly. There, of course, are worship is a form in a lot of different forms. There are songs dedicated to Helios. Hands like Helios bring the first that springs to mind. Doesn't that exactly have worshippers, but there are those that remember. There are probably like cults that still dedicate worship, but he's successfully and for the most part been subverted by Apollo, and seems to be fine with it. He's chilling, hanging out, walks around with the Theoi. He is relatively easily called out. It's just a matter of if he's going to be lazy enough that day not to answer. It's sort of old man staring at the sun and shouting,
"That used to be mine."
Yeah. So, before we jump back over to Majin, what are the three of you up to? Gideon, you wanted to look into Fujin?
Well, no, I was going to point Charles in the direction of where he might find some information regarding his new animus.
I appreciate it, Gideon. Sorry. Ah, man. Getting tongue-tied today. Must have been all that thinking I put up with that riddle.
It helps to know as much as you can about your adversary.
Absolutely. I ah, but I'm too angry to be concerned with that right now. Let's go see what Majin's doing. He's supposed to be fighting Achilles.
My last bit of research will be to find myself one who has shamed, or one who has been shamed or cast out from the family.
Understood. Um, excellent. If you would like to research, it'll be a similar role. If you'd like to recall things that you would know.
Well, I'm thinking, so in order to, I don't want to, I'm not trying to like, I don't want this offering to necessarily start like a cascade of events. However, I'm sure there are plenty of scions and the like who have, or even mortals who have abused, let's say, the worship of Gaia for their own ends, or promised to serve her and instead serve themselves instead of the earth. So, I'm thinking like maybe there's some sort of corporate interest that promises to take care of the earth and actually ruins it. People like that.
Mm-hmm.
Noteworthy, but not like godly necessarily. I'm not looking to obliterate a god to get Gaia's attention.
Specific. Yeah, make your roll. This I'll say has no real chance of failure. So no momentum is possible to gain from this as there is no failure. This will be a margin of targets basically. Hold
Sure
on to
thing.
that number, and Majin, we join you now in a chamber. You've passed through large stone doors. You now pass into a place where incense are lit. You can smell what smells like perhaps dragon's blood and myrrh. There is a plethora of cushions, and you can see there are two men lounging together in the center of the room on this sort of mountain of pillows, just relaxing. Both long-haired, one fair, one dark. They're just relaxing, staring up at the ceiling that seems to be moving as stars shift across the paint. Eating grapes, enjoying themselves.
It's not Ajax, is it?
Let's... You would recognize it. Don't believe... No, you would know. No, it is not Ajax.
All right. I seen movies. Just saying. I know they were friends.
They don't seem to move. Persephone speaks and says, Achilles, if you would kindly dismiss your latest consort. Achilles kind of waves the young man away. He rises. He is bare-chested, wearing what just looks like a flowing sort of red, down to his knees, about like looks like basically like a skirt. Rises and, what have you brought me today, my queen? This one is hoping for a challenge in exchange for, well, nothing of your concern. At least not yet. Who are you, stranger?
Uh, I'm MAJIN. I'll approach and extend my hand to shake. You know.
He takes it, sort of the grasp of the forearm. What test do you wish to give me?
You said task. I'm not trying. I thought we were supposed to like fight or something.
Test, my boy. What will our contest be?
Oh, I don't know. What are you good at?
A great many deal of things. Take your pick. Combat, a foot race, a swim.
Um, Combat or archery. Accuracy. I don't use bows that well, but I have a gun. I know yeah, but yeah, whatever. Combat. That's cool.
What are the terms? Since our Lady Queen does not wish for me to know, I am curious as what do you stand to gain?
I mean, you want to put something up? Is that what you're saying? You want to make a bet?
I was inquiring as to what you hope to gain from her. He looks over Persephone. She sort of smiles. You may tell her if you wish.
Oh, a secret? Yeah. I don't know what kind of secret, but a secret.
Accuracy, then.
Yeah, that works.
Is this all you wish to wager?
I mean, if you want to put something on the line, we can. I wouldn't mind taking like, your helmet or like a spear or something, or I don't know if you got like I seen the movie with Brad, that armor set. That would be cool to just have. Yeah.
You have nothing specific in mind. You seek
No.
trinkets.
Yeah, just something I can remember, maybe look at from time to time, be like, man, that was a cool time. That time I, bested Achilles, man.
That is to think that you will best Achilles.
Let's be honest here. I'm not gonna talk trash, but yeah. I mean, if you're down, I'm down. Just whatever.
He nods. And if I win?
What do you want?
Unfortunately, nothing you can give. But I will... He looks toward Persephone. I will make my standard wager. She nods. Then I wish you the best of luck.
Standard. What is it? Can I know?
I fight for the honor of this house. When you reach too far, when you become as I was, it seems you are never given rest. Whereas my love is past and gone, I am only allowed to visit. So with each success, I am allowed another day.
Another day? What you mean another day? Like to live? To visit? What you mean?
With each success brings me another day that I may spend with Ajax. Make no mistake, Majin.
Yeah.
I intend to win every day that I can. I'm afraid you will leave here with no trinket.
And can't you make like a more permanent wager? Like,
The House of Hades has not seen to grant me any other. I will take what I can. He walks over to a wall, takes up a quiver and a bow. What is our target? Name it.
God damn it. What's in the room?
There are pillars. There are, of course, the pillows. There's a brazier of fire off in the distance. There are tapestries of Achilles' exploits and his victories. There's a number of things here. You can see a tapestry that depicts the Trojan War, along with the horse.
What don't you mind getting destroyed? I guess.
None of these things in this room matter to me more than the day that I will spend with Ajax once I have won.
Jeez, you're making me sad. Can I switch my prize? Can I switch it so they could just like spend eternity together? Is that okay?
Persephone looks down and she says, "I'm afraid not. How would it be known that Achilles would not simply throw the competition? How would it be known that he would not just fail, so that he may be granted his gift?"
I mean, Achilles is a badass. He's like an honor-bound warrior, right? Like, come on, right? No,
She speaks truth. I would fail at every task and every labor in order to see Ajax.
Okay. What about this? What about this then? I don't know. I don't have it. I had it and then I lost it. Okay. All right. Well, what about he shoots for my win, right? And I shoot for his what he wants. So if he beats me, he gets the eternity. He just takes mine and I swap. We swap prizes.
I'm afraid the same argument can be made. What's to stop him from throwing this?
Well, because if he throws it, he's not going to spend an eternity with Ajax, and I get to spend a day with Ajax.
You can see Achilles raise an eyebrow at this. Looks like he may be misinterpreting your intention of spend the day with Ajax. I accept. Persephone looks down at you and says, "If you win, you will spend the day with Achilles' love. By all means. An eternity, though, is a long time, Majin. To grant the House of Hades champion leave, who would replace him?"
Well, I mean, okay, well, maybe just the freedom to enjoy, whenever, outing. Not just once a day for every fight. That's a little harsh. I feel like that's.
Is it harsh that I may only spend a good portion of the year? While the rest of the time I remain here?
You don't like it here?
I like it well enough, but I miss my mother.
Well, I mean, is there a way I could get you back to your mom's? Like, what I gotta do for that?
There is no solution for my plight. Though I like your enthusiasm, are these terms acceptable to you, Achilles? He nods.
All right, cool. And a selfie.
Selfie.
Yeah.
Fine.
Damn.
Choose a target, Majin.
More.
Take some.
I need more.
She needs more. Take some narrative control. What would you like to be the target in the room? Anything you name. Whatever you think you may find in this room.
Um, a cup. Yeah, a cup. Toss the cup, just, you know, and hit it.
How will you measure the accuracy?
If you hit it,
What if you both hit it? Is this going until one of you misses?
I guess, all right, 3 times. You know, if we both hit it all 3 times, then we, you know, based on the dent of the cup, if there's a cup left, whoever had the most symmetrical hit, most bullseye hit, you know.
Understood. So, Persephone takes 3 goblets, placed off to the side, empties the wine. The first of 3, are you shooting at the same time, or are you 3 separate cuts each?
I guess at the same time. Before we start, though, can I imbue some legends?
Imbuing legend into what is your...
Well, one, Arvaga, because since this is a formal contest, right, it levels the playing field. And 2, epic dexterity, and erring flight.
I will detail this to you so that you don't waste something. Avarga will not help you here. In fact, it would hinder you. Achilles is a man, not a god, not a child of a god. He was the peak of human perfection. Human perfection.
That's one. This is a formal fight. I want to level the playing field.
Noted. You may do so.
Cool. So whether I go down to his scale or he comes up to mine, we're equal.
You see... Well, you choose. Majin, do you want to bring him up to you, or do you want to lower yourself down to him?
I'll bring him up to me.
You can see as Achilles places the quiver on his side, you see a hue take to his skin. It is absent in his heel, but quickly subsumed by that sort of dull glow. Takes a deep breath. You imbue another legend for unerring flight.
Yes. Doesn't really do much to help me, but it's there.
Understood. Persephone gives the mark. On my mark. 3, 2, 1. Tosses the cup into the air. Majin, your roll.
Can I evoke a path too?
You may.
Never mind. No, I don't really. I can't make it connect. I can't. Never mind.
Well, voice it. You have some allies here that may be able to help you.
I mean, I could, you know, maybe say pilot because, you know, eyes are like very core to being able to see stuff, you know.
Invoking a path?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's really the only one I can see. But I also have Survivalist and Motorcycle Club.
Any suggestions from his allies?
I could see the MC club. I mean, guys like to go shooting at the range.
That is fair.
I mean, survivalist implies hunting to me, so
There's also that.
I
Oh,
was thinking survivalist.
that's fair. Okay. The survivalist path, because you know, I go hunting, you know, all the time. It wasn't prior to this conversation. So
By all means, you may invoke the path. Again, I can see motorcycle club or survivalist. Motorcycle club being the same sort of vibe. The shooting competitions between friends, as well as being in the motorcycle club. You have to be able to, especially at high speeds, you need to be able to catch and pick out small details, the quick flash of a light, the sudden shift of a car's movement, not akin to picking a small target. So whichever path you would like to invoke.
yeah, survivalist. And that just adds a die, right?
3. You have 3 enhancements.
3. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh shit.
You also have 6 momentum at your disposal.
is it 3 enhancement or 3 dice? I have never invoked a path, so I don't know.
Yeah. It is a bit confusing because it is different from just in regular enhancement. I believe just grant successes. Let me double check. Yes, enhancement. Enhancement just grants successes. So invoking a path, I believe. Let me double check. Is just granting enhancement. Oh, so loud. From what I'm seeing, just grants successes. So if even one roll is a success, we get a bonus 3.
Okay. Okay. And do my weapon tags add the enhancements, even though it's not like a person? I'm
Which-
shooting a cup.
Which tag are you referring to?
The firearm and range tags. They both add a +1 enhancement to firearm rolls.
This is a firearm roll.
All right. So a total of 2 enhancements.
2
From
enhancement from the understood.
So that's a total of 5 successes.
Plus the enhancement. Normally it's capped at 3. For the enhancement. As we haven't discussed whether or not we want to unlimit that, because it's a matter of your enemies can do that too. We'll have a discussion later. So for now, you have 5 successes, 5 material successes, correct?
Yes.
And then the 3 enhancement, 8 successes total. You have some threshold. You've hit the cup. With 8 successes, you have 4 successes left over. You can use it on Twist of Fate. You can just keep it at a degree of success. With 4 excess successes, you raise your degree of success and how well you hit it, how centered you are.
I'll do that.
Understood. You fire. You see Achilles' arrow has hit the cup as well. Persephone makes no move to retrieve it. The second cup. On my mark. 3, 2, 1. The second roll, Majin. Again, you have 6 momentum at your disposal as well.
Do I need to ask before I roll or after I roll for momentum?
Typically before.
All right. Well, I got 3 successes.
Okay.
think you're muted.
You have a pool of 7 momentum now. You graze the cup. So,
Can I use some momentum before this last roll?
I'm
absolutely.
going to say no because he wants it to be a fair fight.
Oh, you asshole! I did. Oh,
He wanted it to be a fair fight, but momentum is something that is a part of him.
It's
And
not
he
a part of
brought
the kill.
Achilles up to his level.
Still saying no.
I would also vote no in the sense that being a fair fight, like after seeing the results, doesn't seem fair.
So,
You know what I mean?
well, this is in the 3rd roll, which he hasn't
Yeah.
rolled quite yet.
Yeah, but he
The
wouldn't
next roll.
until the results of this roll were announced before being like, hey, yeah, I'd like to spend momentum. If you said it before that part was narrated, then I might have voted differently, but I'm going to say no as well.
Tracking your thought process. Understood. As well, momentum must be unanimous. So, unfortunately, MAJIN.
3 successes. This is the first time I ever asked for momentum, and the last. 3 successes.
3 successes. So, MAJIN, you fire. 3 successes. You hit the cup. Achilles' arrow hits as well. 3rd cup drops. Only now does Persephone move toward the targets. Achilles doesn't make a move to go toward her or to go toward the targets to count. She looks down at the cups, weighing the marksmanship. MAJIN, do you wish to examine the cups as well?
No, she's the judge.
Understood. Achilles closes his eyes. Persephone speaks after a moment of contemplation. She takes the cups up. As she does, they dwindle and wither and crumble to rust. The winner is MAJIN. Achilles opens his eyes and lets out a big sigh. What do you do?
I'm conflicted. But I get to spend the day with Ajax. Sorry, bud.
Was a fair competition. However, Persephone speaks. Given the circumstances, it could be said that MAJIN cheated by altering his opponent's state of mind and being. As such,
What do I do?
your abilities and powers are noted here, Scion. As such, I declare no contest. Both sides have won, both sides have lost. It would not be fit to punish both of you. As such, I see only one course of action. Achilles, you are hereby released from your servitude. You may visit whenever you like, until which time you may join Ajax. She looks at you, Majin, and says, I will grant you no secret, nor do I require you a secret from myself. But you may spend the day with Ajax if you wish. Welcome back. Now, we pick up where we left off. Gideon, you had rolled to get some information about Fujin.
Yes, specifically looking for ways to dismantle him emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually.
With 5 successes, you find scraps and bits, scions and followers of the Theoi that have encountered him. It's not a place where you could research the Shen in its totality. However, or the Kami, you find that Fujin is strong in every sense of the physical word, or in the physical realm, I should say. Weaknesses would likely need to be, you would need to see him. However, psychologically speaking, Fujin's greatest weakness is his family. He underwent a transformation. He is the first Oni, the first monster. He is green of skin, long of fang. He underwent this transformation when he was cut off from his brother, a boulder separating them. he finds fathers terrible. It was his father that did this to him, that cut him off from his family. He was placed in a parental role, and he eventually shunned it because he knew that all fathers eventually betray their sons. He loves his brother, he loves his family, and he has a vision for it in the future that he wants to see come to pass, despite what harm it may do for the metaphysical world. Fujin's weakness is his love for his family, and his desire to see everything come together once more.
Just kind of pocket that.
Gregor,
Who is Fujin's brother, by the way?
Raijin,
Oh, okay.
thunder and lightning gods, or titans, as it were. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you got with the 5. Gregor.
Okay.
5 successes on your roll for what exactly?
No, I'm looking to see what they know about me and mine. Any mythos related stuff. Need to make sure that they don't have any bad information.
You find a distinct absence of these things. There is no mention of you and your kind. It's not
Good.
even a file on you.
That's weird. That's weird. Because I've worked here before. There's more to that. And I have time.
Charles, you're sitting there watching them read. It looks like you're trying to express that he doesn't have time and you're getting bored. Am I correct in my assessment?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna see if I can hitch a ride on Cerberus over to Majin.
You step outside. Gideon, Gregor, you see him leave.
Charles, don't do anything stupid.
I do what I want.
As he departs, I will close the notes that I was gathering on Fujin. I will tuck them away into my belt pouch, basically, and I'll put my hood up and I will walk out as well.
Understood. Charles, Gideon, you both walk out and you can hear panting from down the hall. You're Hades. A game then. Right. And are any of you of any consequence? Is there a reason you were in my chambers at all? You can hear Thalos' voice. I didn't know it was yours. I'm so sorry. I was hiding. Are there any of you the original? We might be. I don't. You hear a sudden just gasp of voices, and a sort of like puffs of smoke. Well, that's good at least. Find the rest of them. Near the padded feet of Cerberus, bounding through Hades.
Charles, something of note regarding Fujin. As Fujin has decided to make this a family matter, it might behoove you to do the same. As Fujin seems to favor his family deeply. Now, he does have a brother who rivals him in strength and power. I wouldn't necessarily start there, but I'm sure that there are plenty of descendants who aren't remotely as powerful, who remain well within Fujin's view, who could be leveraged if you so chose.
Well, one of my friends is friends with Raijin, so I was thinking about just asking if they could introduce me to Raijin, and maybe Raijin would just be not a dick about things.
Suppose we'll see.
Yep. Do you know where Achilles might be? Like, Majin went to go fight him, and I have no idea where I'm going.
I will I'll stop and I'll kind of let um the death epicenter kind of bleed out and see if there are any kind of, I don't know if there are any spirits wandering the halls here, or servitors or court people or servants or whoever is wandering the halls here. Staff. I'm losing you. I can't hear you.
I was muted.
Oh.
There are no spirits wandering the halls here, but with your death epicenter, if you'd kindly detail what exactly it does, that may be beneficial for you.
Sure. So it I'll read it. So it says your presence thins the barriers between life and death, inviting the deceased to make themselves known. Underworld gates and other paths to deathly realms swing open in your presence, potentially ushering more undead into the world, while normally unperceivable and uncommunicative forms of ghost spirits and the undead can manifest and make themselves understood in your presence. Such undead are never hostile to you unless otherwise provoked.
Indeed, it is beneficial that no one else is wandering these halls but your party. You find one other that is very quickly walking toward another hallway. You can very swiftly identify this as a powerful spirit, and more so the fact that he's not. Powerful spirits can take on a sort of physical form, a more tangible, more viewed by everyone and such. That is likely Achilles.
I'll just point in the direction. There. I think. Perhaps.
Okay, cool. Let's go. I'll just head straight in that direction.
You guys pass through halls, and you pass through the chamber where Hades and Persephone once sat. Hades is now seated in his throne, sort of pondering. You pass him. You may speak with him if you have something in passing, if you'd like.
I will let Charles go fetch Maj, and I will pause in the throne room.
Okay, you said it was this way?
Moving quickly.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. And I'll get her off.
Lord Hades watches Charles leave, sighs, and looks to you now, Gideon.
There is much to be learned in your archives.
The wealth of human and godly knowledge is there. Is to be expected.
We'll be out of your domain soon. As I spoke earlier, I made my intentions clear. And you should know that I am a being of my word. I trust then that our mutual understanding will remain.
I spoke of my intentions. I am also a being of my word. I will fight for my family.
Then sometime in the near or far-flung future, perhaps you may receive the gift of a reign of many a soul. And I will kind of half bow and back out.
He nods. We join Majin and Persephone. Majin, you pick up the bow. It's a good weight.
I can have this.
Persephone looks around the room. He gave you free will to take what you will.
You think he's gonna come back?
I don't imagine he will be returning to this place anytime soon. Unless called upon, of course.
I mean, maybe just a couple taps, paintings and tapestries. Is that what they call? I got an RV. Well, my friend has an RV. That's kind of blank.
By all means.
I'll just just a Troy one.
What do you take, Majin?
Just a bow and a small tapestry.
Understood. It's about 4 feet in length, maybe about
God.
a foot and a half wide.
Something smaller.
Some smaller.
Yeah, just maybe like a little blanket.
You want to take
Just for
one of the
a
blankets?
shawl.
A shawl.
Yeah.
You can search through Achilles' wardrobe.
Yeah.
You don't find necessarily a shawl, but you find several bits of cloth that can be wrapped.
Does it smell like Achilles?
He uses them to gird his loins.
There are several different colors and things. You may feel free to give it a whiff, a sniff, if you'd like.
No, I'm good. I'll just take it. A little
Understood.
token along with the bow.
Are you satisfied?
Yeah. This was cool.
Good. Then let's rejoin.
You know
our
about
friends.
question. You know about the war, right?
I am very well aware of the war.
Okay. Like all three sides, right?
Gods, titans, and dragons.
No, like the interstellar, like alien.
Gregor has worked with us, yes.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay, just making sure.
We keep that information quite close. I suggest you do the same.
Why?
A rogue element, whether they wish to orchestrate this war and pit dragon against god, it doesn't matter. These beings are powerful. These beings are dangerous. Alerting our enemies that they have a potential ally is not advised.
Well, who are you calling enemies in this talk?
The Titans, Majin.
Why would they be the enemies if the other ones are the one orchestrating it? They're just a pawn.
They can feel free to pull the strings. War is inevitable. Titans and gods will fight until the bitter end. Dragons have a stake in this claim, of course. But it's of no consequence. Our enemies remain the same. The Titans. At least from my perspective.
But if you're too busy fighting Titans and not focusing on these other guys, then you're just exposed. Like, I don't understand.
If you...
This conflict is fake.
It may be fake for the time being. As I said, Titans and gods have fought and will continue to fight until the end of time. Dragons have their stake in the claim, and we will fight them too. These creatures from beyond the stars. Seems that all we need to do is ignore them. Ignore their machinations. Sever the strings, as it were. If they choose to take an active role, we'll fight them as well. But alerting our enemies... If I told you that Lord Hades wanted me dead, what information would that bring you?
Um, that's a toxic relationship. Unfortunate.
Do you have a stake in this?
No,
Now, what if I told you I owed you a boon, a great boon? Then, of course, I could not repay it if Hades had killed me, correct?
correct. Yeah.
Similarly, if Hades owed you a boon, you would seek greater favor, perhaps another boon if you were to complete the task for him. That is the situation we find ourselves. This unknown entity is an enemy or an ally. As of right now, our enemies don't seem to register that they could be an ally. I intend to keep it that way.
But they're an enemy to all. To dragons, to gods, to like we've actively fought them.
You suggest that this is a great enough enemy to unite all forces.
I don't know shit about them, to be honest. Excuse the language, but I don't know stuff about them, to be honest, other than what I've experienced. But so like Game of Thrones, right? You've seen Game of Thrones, right? When Jon Snow is like, "Hey, these creatures from the north are coming," and they were like, "No, I want to fight these people because they're right in front of me." And then these people from the north came and they kind of wrecked house because they were too busy fighting. That's what we're doing here. That's like instead of the north, it's outer space.
Well, then we would need a stalwart king to unite us.
Well, I mean, it was a Queen Daenerys kind of thing was official, but and Sansa, she was. That's neat, but yeah. Since I guess, but that's what I'm foreseeing.
I'll take your words into account. I would recommend that you still be careful who you share the information with. Not everyone is as noble as you are.
Thank you.
Come, let's rejoin your friends. Charles, Gideon. Charles, of course, you first to catch up to Achilles. Seems intent on walking down a hall. He's bare-chested, his hair flowing behind him.
Sorry, got distracted. Anyways, hey, are you Achilles?
I am.
Neato. Who won? Like,
Both and none.
all right. That's fucking weird. Anyways, then where's Majin?
Back in my chambers.
Where are your chambers?
He stops. You can see now for the first time he's kind of looking at you, sizing you up. Are you a friend to this creature?
To Majin? Yeah.
You count yourself in good company. It's down the hall in my chambers. You will follow the path. On the right. Make a left after making the first right turn.
Neat. Chim Chim, did you get that?
Chim Chim's just like, yeah, this dude's intense. Gideon,
Alright, cool.
This is where you join Charles and Achilles.
Okay. I will acknowledge the dead man.
Gives you
Alright.
a nod.
Have a good day.
Your days be long. And he departs.
Cool. Chim Chim, you remember the directions, right? Fantastic. We're following Chim Chim. Chim Chim, lead the way.
Points.
Follow the point.
Gregor, is there anything you're doing in this time?
Well, I have time for the archives, so it's odd that I don't have anything on me or mine, given that I've worked with them, or even me. I'm a PI. I'm curious. Let's poke around a bit, see if there's a gated off area or somewhere that would be hidden stuff.
An investigation roll of sorts.
Indeed. Now, I tend to use integrity for this.
By all means.
All right, cunning integrity. One 10, 2 10s. Okay, 4 successes.
4 successes. You find no hidden section. You find no gated off area.
Okay. I must keep it somewhere else that isn't in the archive proper, in which case I only have access as long as Cerberus is still running around. Dice have spoken. I'm going to start committing things to memory, just because speed reading and memory palace or palace of memory might be useful to have some of this information that they just have here in the back of my head later on. And I'm not going to poke around outside the archives because Persephone kind of scared me last session.
Understood. Majin, you are exiting Achilles' chambers when Charles and Gideon join you. Persephone is with him.
I have like this fabric around my neck.
What color did you choose, Majin?
It's red and gold.
Oh my god, you lost and you have to wear that.
What? No, I didn't lose.
What? Then
Well,
what
I mean,
happened?
What does he have? What is it? Like, is it actually like a piece of garb, or is it like, what is it that he has?
It is looks like a piece of garb. Not exactly a scarf or a shawl or anything like that. But it is a long bit of fabric that kind of wraps, using it currently as a scarf. It fits well.
Is he wearing it right?
Looks like it.
Okay. Just kind of cock my head.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I cheated by accident, and
What'd
there's
you
a no
do?
contest. Well, so I have this ability, right, that like equals the playing field, kind of.
Is that how you beat Hermes?
I didn't think about it, and it's probably, hmm, yeah, that's probably the reason.
But
You know her.
Achilles is an everyday, regular, normal guy, so what happened here?
I don't know what I looked to. What exactly did I do? What was wrong with it? What I did?
I believe you would call it steroids. You gave him a sort of performance boost.
I mean, it's kind of like you were holding back, right?
Well, no, well, I guess I put him on my level, so it'll be fair,
Uh,
because yeah, and yeah, that I didn't know that was cheating, so no contest. Um, I don't get to spend the day with Ajax, but
like
No,
spend the day or
correction.
spend the day.
Correction. You get to spend the day with Ajax.
I do.
At a point of your choosing. Our wager is null and void, though. I will tell you no secret,
Oh.
and nor do I require you to tell me one.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, fuck yeah. I still get to date with Ajax. Cool.
Like
Maybe
spend-
Achilles will be there too. 'Cause
dude,
he-
no, I don't think you want this.
What do you mean?
No, they trying to fuck, dude.
No, they're bros.
Right.
It's all because they were in Troy fighting, and they were
Persephone
like best
kinda
friends, right?
Smiles down at you, Majin, and says, "The best of friends."
Yeah. Because didn't the story, because Ajax was mad that what's his name? Who's the third guy? Took Achilles stuff?
Hector?
No, the
guy
Iliad dude.
Yeah, the guy that like killed Patroclus and like took the Achilles armor that Patroclus had to lead the troops.
Yeah, but after like Achilles died, I forget his name.
What were the other conditions? Why do you have
Mhm.
that point?
Oh,
just
he said I could have
to the shop?
whatever. Yeah, he said I could have whatever in his room.
Oh my
So I
god,
took.
you chose an ass god and you didn't take his shield?
Well, I took this bow that he used.
Hephaestus made his shield. It's like legendarily beautiful.
Can I go back in there? Or is my? I'll slowly slide back into the room.
Gideon, Charles, you're left with Persephone if you wish to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she doesn't like me at all, but I don't have a whole lot to say to Persephone either.
I feel like there's some tension here.
I'll stand there stoic and yeah, hooded.
So how's your day been? Charles will ask Persephone.
Interesting. Achilles has been moping ever since he had a bad breakup. There's a lot of relationship issues there. Frankly, I'm tired of keeping up to date with it. But now they're all in the same place, and they may sort themselves out.
Huh. You guys talk about anything neat?
Competition was mostly the aim of this.
Mostly. So what else was the aim of this?
Majin, you are intending to grab the shield.
Yeah.
You find it. It's sort of along the wall in the armory. It's beautiful to look at, but has been tossed to the side, left on the sort of perched up against the wall itself.
And I'll pick it up. Just this. Yeah.
Charles, you ask Persephone what else was the aim of this, and she says, "Just assessment. Nothing more. Are you all quite
but why?
finished?"
Yeah, we're all done. Oh my god, we need to tell Thalos that he can stop. I'm sure he's fine right now.
I've been hearing more screams than usual down these halls.
I'm sure it's fine. He seems like a lovable guy. I'm sure Cerberus will like him.
Come, let us gather your group then, and bid you farewell, if you have completed your business here. I'm sure that Lord Hades is eager to have this palace to himself once more.
Okay, I don't remember too well. Did we already talk to you guys about the war and like the four sides and all that?
I've been informed.
Nito Petito. You know, if you change your perspective every once in a while, You might not have lost to my riddle.
Let's
Go get my
your-
friend.
Let's do that.
Do you have like a bowl of just butterscotch candies?
I'm afraid I don't.
You seem like the type that would like keep that on hand.
I do have. She reaches into her pockets in the dress that she wears and pulls out what looks like just a fruit. Looks like a pomegranate.
That looks absolutely delicious.
You may
Have
have
you
it
ever
if you
had
like.
spicy McChicken with mac sauce?
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
Well, when you get up to the service, you need to stop by McDonald's and really treat yourself. You know, you can get 2 of them for $3.
Interesting. You may take
Yeah.
this if you like.
Absolutely. I'll start scarfing it down, just digging into it.
Gideon, Majin, you see this about to happen.
I will put a hand on his wrist as he raises it to his mouth. Say, maybe you should save that for later.
Oh,
Much later.
okay.
You might get hungry on the way. We have a long trip ahead.
You know, I asked the dude in the place if they had like papayas and fruits, but he didn't ask and he didn't say y'all have fruits.
We keep in abundance. Would you like some?
This isn't the same fruit you ate, is it?
It is a pomegranate.
History check. Insight.
Give me integrity. For your purposes, integrity, cunning.
Okay, just cunning, cool.
I'll also allow
That was a. Go ahead.
I'll also allow culture if you have it.
I sure do not. Oh, I do have culture, but yeah, it's okay.
What you got for me?
I got a couple explodies. 5 successes.
5 successes. She told you today, not moments ago, that she is bound to the underworld because she ate pomegranate seeds.
Yeah, but
Are the seeds? What part of the pomegranate are the seeds?
The fruit itself. You ever had a pomegranate, my guy? It's delicious, and it's all seed.
Okay, I'm just
Like-
making sure.
Not quite as hard as trying to eat like a strawberry without seeds, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat that, Charles,
why?
because it keeps you here. That's why she's only allowed to come up to spring. Come on, everybody knows this.
But I thought that's because of the entire like stipulation on her coming to the underworld, that she would be released so long as she didn't taste the food of the underworld. That was legitimately just a her thing, right?
I don't know. Is the peaches you eat just is it just going to make you throw up like the way you did?
It didn't make you guys throw up the way I did.
I don't think I tried it.
Coward.
I'm just saying, I want to do it unless you want to spend more time here, which is a nice place, by the way.
But Persephone's
yeah.
so sweet. She wouldn't do something like that.
She's walking ahead of you guys, leading you guys to the archives. You can't see her face.
Oh, wait, I got a question. Just one more question.
Speak.
And I say it in whispered voices. You are safe here, right? Like there's no like the whole Hades plans to kill me type thing isn't real, right?
A metaphor. My
Okay,
lord,
okay.
There are those that would say that my lord husband and I are the most functional of the relationships in my family.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to just leave it out there like that. And
No, understandable. No, we love each other quite a lot, actually.
that's good. Okay. Yeah, don't eat that, Charles, please.
All right, fine. I won't eat it. Hey, Chim Chim.
But keep it with you, though. Maybe you get somebody else to eat it. What would happen if Anubis ate this?
Are we at the archives yet?
You eventually reach the archives in this moment. The door opens. Gregor, you see Persephone and the rest of your party, minus Thalys in tow. Though you hear Thalys screaming.
Yeah, just okay. Keep flipping through book.
Your task is complete. Your friends wish to leave, Mr. DeWitt.
All right. Where to then?
To Japan.
No,
Is
never
she
been
in
to Japan.
Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay.
We can walk.
Walk to Japan?
Yeah.
There
We
is
should
a
probably go return to the surface first.
That's easy.
the pathway up to the gift shop will lead you back out to the surface.
Will that lead us to where we were? And at that point, we have a Pegasus to pick up there, right?
No,
And a
I got my
follower.
bike to pick up.
What?
I got my bike to pick up.
Yeah.
But,
So we'll need to go return home. Or we need to return there first, yeah?
But can't you do that through any door?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Rather
let's,
than take the long path, we'll take the short path.
Fair enough.
Where's Thalys?
I have no idea.
Alright, when the time comes, I retrieve Thalys and I can open the doorway. I imagine
Okay.
if you tell one of his clones, they'll relay the message through whatever network they have.
Hmm. I'm gonna do a loud like dog whistle. Trying to call Cerberus.
You do this. Cerberus comes not bounding down the corner, but sort of a sort of tired walk as he has a Thalys in his mouth. Just he lays down, kind of blocking the
Oh.
door.
What a good boy. Here, you want some pomegranate? Good boy. Dallas, we're done.
was it?
You can come back now. The game's over. Cerberus, do you think you can pop it?
I have been killed in so many different ways.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one.
I don't even think it was intentional. I just think the poor pup doesn't know his own strength.
It's invigorating, isn't it?
Countless lives lost. And I remember all of them. I'm sure I'll get over it.
Dance and die 1,000 times, then complain.
And that is where we'll end today's session of Scion Godsend. Our heroes gathered once more, a target in a plane of existence to head off to. We thank you for joining us. Have you guys completed your short-term deeds?
Yes.
Sure.
With gusto.
Gusto.
With cream cheese.
With cream
Oh,
cheese.
yes.
We'll take care of some experience off screen. Does anyone have anything to plug?
I don't exist.
No.
I know.
Then, of course, we have been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us over on our Twitch, twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads, where you can find us going live every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, our Sabbat Chronicle. You can find us over here, of course, on Sundays, every Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for this right here, Scion Godsend. 2 hours after, at 6 p.m., you can find us over again on our channel, twitch.tv/rollingnomads, for our what is going to be the last few episodes of the epilogues of our Vampire the Masquerade game, Thy Kindred Come. We've got, I believe, 2 more episodes, today's and next week's, and then we'll be finishing out. After that, we'll be beginning a D&D game late October, early November. Of course, you can find the episodes of Scion, Godsend, and Book of Saints over on our YouTube, youtube.com/rollingnomads, where I'm a little bit behind as started school again, so that's a nightmare. But we'll get everything up to date, and you can watch up to this point very shortly. Of course, the best way to keep up to date with us and what we're up to, what we're doing, what we're uploading, changes in programming, late starts, things like that, is over on our Twitter, @_rollingnomads. Me, you can find everywhere under the name @RamosTheNomad. That's everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all the things under the name @RamosTheNomad. We thank you guys very much, and we hope you'll join us again, 1 in 2 hours for the second epilogue of Thy Kindred Come. We hope you'll join us again next Sunday for this right here, Scion Godsend. We'll see you next Sunday, same time, same place, same Scions. We'll see you.